Welcome back to Champion News Talk Radio, brought to you by ChampionNewsTalk.net. This is Carol Parisi, and today our founder Jack Roser and myself are speaking with Bob Cook, the Lake County Chairman, and we were talking about this Joe Walsh miracle, and I want to hear more from your perspective, Bob, about that.
Let's lay out the miracle. Walsh and three other guys won as congressmen, a very big position, and all four of those guys weren't supposed to win. But they had considerable help from the Tea Party people, and I personally know that you provided a fair atmosphere up in Lake County for the election to take place without outside interference. There was an attempt to throw Joe Walsh off the ballot after he won the primary.
Well, you know, the key to remember to that whole thing is he was the person who was elected in the primary. So really, he was the only one that could take himself out of that. And
without disenfranchising the 8th District voters.
And Joe was not going to take himself out of that. And I'm sure there were some tough days where he had to question, you know, everything, but he always showed up with full of energy.
There's more to the miracle than people may not know. It's that Joe had no support from the National Party, nor from the State Party, and he was outspent by the rich Democrat, which the Democrats have all the money these days. It isn't rich Republicans, despite what Obama's talking about. Obama is the big friend of the bankers because he passed their debts, he
onto the taxpayers.
saved them, and we're the ones that are paying the price for the losses of the big bankers, courtesy of Obama. But Joe was outspent 5-1 by the rich Democrat, and he won that race.
Well, his message was correct, and I think that's what ultimately rang with the voters. His message was, we've got to stop spending far more money than we take in.
I feel like I'm losing my country.
Exactly. I remember him saying that in the primary, and I went, wow, that's going to really stick with people.
Now let me ask you, what is your relationship with this new grassroots, this populist movement, this 2-year-old populist movement known as the Tea Party movement?
Well, I'm a Tea Party guy.
What does that mean specifically?
Well, you know, if you look at what the Tea Party stands for, it's right out of the Republican platform.
That's it.
Fiscal responsibility.
Constitutional conservatism.
Exactly. So from my point of view, if you're a Republican, how can you not be a Tea Party person? Because we always lose elections because the Democrats will go, oh gosh, we're in trouble in there. Let's start the social agenda. And then they get all of us fighting over the social agenda when we have far more in common than just the social things. Now, socially, I'm very conservative. I'm from Wakanda. We're a Wakanda area. We're a conservative area. I fit in very well there. But we have to have a big tent. And the Tea Party thing was genius. It was a stroke of genius because it was supposed to say, look, we're not going to agree on the social issues. It's not about that. It's about fiscal responsibility.
Right. But that's an American issue.
It is.
I mean, any Democrat sitting at home with their family looking at bills, well, hey, let's just get ourselves in more debt so we could spend ourselves out of debt. That makes no sense. That's common sense.
You know, a lot of people, I'm the oldest libertarian in the state. I mean, I remember Ayn Rand when she was alive.
Wow.
And I was a follower of hers. I bought copies of The Fountainhead to give to young guys going off to architecture school. I belonged to the Objectivist Society, and I subscribed to Reason magazine. So
sure, so did I.
I've got long credentials for the people that are now called libertarians. But the libertarian thing is a financial thing, and that's not enough to constitute a party, because the social issues really define where people stand. That's what it's all about. The finance thing makes the good life available to you. That's
a movement. It's not a party.
That's right.
But I have a question.
And it goes right back to the people that founded our country, those were really wild and crazy good guys.
Yeah, they were
Rebels.
geniuses. They were.
But let me ask you a question, Jack.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, the social issues, and I am a conservative. I'm a social conservative as well. But is it government's job to tell individuals what to do as far as their personal life?
Hell no.
Okay, so that's more of a libertarian bent, though.
That's very much a libertarian bent, yes.
Yeah, but let's define the word libertarian. That has to do with a lot of finances. I remember when that wrestler governor was elected.
Jesse the Body Ventura.
Yeah, and there were a lot of young people went for him.
Sure.
And their theme was, I don't want nobody telling me what to do. Those aren't libertarians. Those are libertines.
You're right, and there is a difference.
Oh, there's a huge difference. There's a market everywhere in the world, whether it's Africa or the old Soviet Union, China today, or the United States. And the only place in the world of any size that constitutes a really good environment for people to be in finance and do the right thing. To be a libertarian, you cannot exist in a vacuum. You have to be in a place where people have principles, that they stick up with their contracts, that they serve the interests of the broader political body. This whole rule was laid down in the beginning and stated very well by the second president of the United States, John Adams. And he said, we have given you a constitution for a moral and religious people, and it's suitable for the governance of none other. So that is what undergirds this whole financial thing, the libertarian thing, is a society that stands for something decent. The market in Russia really stunk. And Idi Amin in Africa, that stunk too, but he had a market.
But we clearly have a culture war going on.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And the thing is, the progressives, it's the progressives that set the agenda in our schools.
They're progressing back to the
Sodom and Gomorrah. Sorry.
Well, listen, this country was founded by these bright guys that I just spoke up for.
Yes.
And as a result, people left the old dukes and the kings and all these people that decided everything for them. They said, enough of this crap. We're going to go out where we can be free. So they established a cultural society here that attracted the world. We're one of the biggest countries in the world, and we're the most decent one of all. We got a little bit bent up here by Obama, who believes in all the reverse things, but we got all these people on welfare came from elsewhere. Their fathers before them knew enough not to get onto welfare.
But that's not government's job. Government's job is not to put people on welfare, is it?
No. It's to create an environment where people can be free and businesses can thrive. The government doesn't create any jobs except for government jobs, which is why it's one of the biggest employers anywhere you look.
And it's getting bigger, and it's getting bigger. And I'm sure a couple weeks ago, the president had his jobs thing. He's the biggest bureaucrat and job creator for bigger government. And that is not what our
Also, he's the toady for the unions, particularly the teachers' union, that have ruined our school system. We don't stand up well against South Korea or Australia or England or even Russia in the effectiveness of our schools. We don't even teach arithmetic in the schools anymore. I can tell you 3/4 of the applicants that come to my company, and we have 500 employees, and we're growing all the time, 3/4 of them can't do 6th grade arithmetic.
That's because of our
That's
public
pathetic.
schools. Well, it's funny, we jumped down the libertarian bunny hole and we started talking. Clearly, America has a two-party system, and it's the Democratic Party and the Republican Party.
It's the Union Party now.
Oh.
This son of a gun has installed the Union in charge of all of these multitudes of job holders in the government that we are paying. As a businessman, I feel like I'm paying the salary of people who are going to torture me with regulations. They are the biggest impediment to jobs that exists right in the government.
Right, right. Well, who was the gentleman a couple weeks ago that was speaking just before Obama spoke? I forgot his name. His father was a big union guy, too.
Oh,
Hoffa.
Yeah,
Hoffa. Oh, my gosh, how
he
could I
called
forget
us a bunch of SOBs.
I mean, that is just horrible. And then the president wanted a cleaner dialogue, and he spoke right after him and didn't even call him out on it.
And his people said that this guy, that he didn't know what this guy was saying. Are you telling me the president of the United States doesn't know what somebody's saying?
Uh-huh.
He knows damn well.
Exactly.
It has to be approved beforehand.
After the break, we're going to talk more.